Hello everyone, here again with a little update on the YAW 2 Pro assembly. So far so good. Went over all the parts with everything, and they indeed forgot my chair itself, meaning the butt pad and then the seat back, like the things on their website that have the LEDs. So didn't get that. I got everything else. That's kind of the seat plate there, and then a seat pan comes with it, which hooks into those silver rings on each side, or silver points there. What we did with that, I actually had lying around, believe it or not, a JEGS racing seat, and a cover for the seat and a 5-point harness, which I thought I'd try. And so here's the result with that. I'm absolutely stunned, believe it or not. So down here, what you're looking at is the bottom of the JEGS racing seat. This plate, this metal plate here, is the seat pan that comes with the yaw. So you'll see these little hooks right here will hook onto these. It just kind of sits and then slides back, and it's hooked around these. So anywho, this seat plate fits the seat pretty well. It's almost the same base, and the seat itself is polyethylene, so it's hard, just all one piece injection molded. In the seat bottom where you sit, if you were sitting in it, there are 6 holes. Now, if you want to bring the light down, okay. If we look through here, you'll see one of the holes right down in there. So if that bolt wasn't there and you were sitting in the seat, I could hit you in the butt. But anywho, the original hardware that comes with this is a legitimate racing seat. It's actually made for racing. The hardware that originally comes with it is huge. You're talking like ultra heavy bolts, things like that. But these bolts are way too wide to go through these slots on the seat pan that comes with the yaw. So what I did is removed all the stock bolts from the seat, which is nothing. You just unscrew them, push them through, and they're done. Then I went and figured out, took these parts to the hardware store, and then ran in and kind of eyeball length the measurement, and I figured out this back bolt's about 3.5 inches. Or excuse me, this is the front of the seat, is about 3.5 inches. And the back is shorter for whatever reason. The way the seat, when it sits flat, the distance between the hole in the seat back here and this plate part is shorter. It's about 2.5 inches. So what you want is to replace the original bolts with 2.5-inch bolts back here with 5/16 locking nylon nuts. So 2.5, 3.5, and then get washers and stuff to make it all fit. I put washers on the other side up under the seat. I got everything like on right now, otherwise you could peel this back, but it looks the same on the seat. It's basically the same thing on both sides. But everything lined up pretty good. 3 out of the 4 went in with no issues, so I put them in, and then to get the 4th bolt to line up straight, I had to offset drill through the seat again, and then just moved it over slightly, so it's all squared up now. But yeah, here's the other cool part about this. Now, this is a JEGS 5-point harness. This is the YAW seat pan. This is the JEGS poly seat, and this is, I think it's a vinyl seat cover. It feels like black leather. But those parts all are designed to fit together in a real race car. So everything lines up. The seat belt slots on the seat are the exact same width as these, which are 3 inches, by the way. I mean, I don't even know. These are like, got to be like 10-ton nylon straps. They're unbelievably strong. So anyway, I'll flip this over in a second. But what was cool is that I used the exact same bolts to attach the seat pan, the seat, and the seat belt hooks all in one fell swoop. These are by themselves. These are not through the seat. They're just the back, the shoulder harnesses. We'll flip this over and we'll look. But this is the other ones. These are go through the seat, and these go through the seat, and that's your lap belt. We'll flip it over, and this is the crotch belt right here. So now I'm going to flip it over. You can see, like, this is the back of the seat. Pick it up here. So the back of it's poly. You can see through the top there. And then it's nice and straight. Everything is made to fit together. So it does. Legit JEGS stuff. And crotch belt. And then the front crotch belt I have, again, bolted to the front of the seat pan from YAW. There's some washers and whatnot. Always using nylon lock nuts everywhere. Proper washers, proper lock nuts, nice and tight, you know, so nothing's going to move. These need to be tight because your ass is going to be wiggling around on this thing and you don't want anything loose. And if anything is designed to be tight, it's a chair like this. So what this is, the part numbers, let's see, I wrote it down. So the chair itself is a JEGS low back poly racing seat. By the way, 20 inches wide, part number 821-8020S. And by the way, the chair, get this, 89 bucks. Ha! The cover, the actual like pleather, which is actually nice, it feels good. That's called a vinyl seat cover, solid black. Part number 821-8021S. That's 58 bucks. And the 5-point harness is also JEGS, all the same website. It's called the Black Latch and Link Ultra Series Harness, 5-point design. Part number 555-70082. And that is like 69 bucks. So all in for that whole thing, you got 216 bucks into it, which is cheaper than any gaming chair basically. And a hell of a lot better. It's about the same price as what YAW charges for our LED chair, which is an office chair with LEDs on it. And if you go look at the website, it's nothing special. This is a far superior unit, in my opinion. So the reason is, if you think about it, here's the thing. Like, we play a lot of DCS in here, so we need a low back on the chair because you swing your head around when you're looking at stuff behind you in the plane. So this chair is low. It's designed low for a reason. It's 20 inches wide and it's a low. So your head is above it, and then you can look behind you and look around, which, believe it or not, the YAW chair has a high back and high shoulders, which sucks for looking behind you in VR. My original idea was to put a legitimate ejection seat on this thing, but after like 1 second of thinking about it, I was like, wait, it's way too tall, way too much mass, too high, which would not be good for the rotation and whatnot. So actually, this is the exact opposite here. You've got a low seat, it's made of polyethylene, it's super light. So it's good for VR, it's super light, which means it's less work on the motors on this thing. It'll swing around as quick as possible. All these parts fit together perfect. Like I said, these straps and stuff, it's just perfect in there. It feels the way it should. It feels just like a real race car, because it is made for a real race car. You know, everything fits nice and snug. It's a direct bolt-on. This is the key here, which is why I made this video, because the other videos online, there's a Monster Tech video and whatnot, and they're grinding on stuff, doing all this crazy mods and taking this off and doing that. This is direct bolt onto the plate. Done. No big deal. It took like an hour. So, yeah. I would highly recommend you think about doing this. It's cheap, it's fast. It's a way better, way stiffer chair, too. If you think about it, this is all about motion transfer. This thing is a shell directly bolted to the plate, which is directly bolted to this. So the energy that's made by this is going to this point instantly. You know, there's no sway in the system. Whereas like a lot of the other chairs, you're gonna have like a neck, like this old chair, which the top and the bottom is only connected by something like that, which has a lot of give in it, right? It gets wiggle. This will never wiggle. So that's where we're at right now. The overall plan is to transfer all these goodies onto this. Got the Thrustmaster pedals, which are key if you're into flight sims. Definitely get these. They're worth the money. Went with the Thrustmaster A10 stuff. We got a wall-mounted i9 with a 4090 butt kicker amp, subwoofers, Pimax 8KX. All the build stuff, yoke. I took the yoke off. It's fun. It's good yoke. The honeycomb, but we hardly ever use it, so I just put it away. I keep all my boxes right here in case a component takes a dump. I got everything ready to go right on site. All the receipts are ready. Yeah, it's just easier that way. So this took forever to build. The only reason I built this computer like this is to get it off the floor, and this was a case that's a wall mount. So that's a completely homemade rig. And vertically mounted the 4090, air-cooled, big extension. I don't even know, 1300 watts, 1000 watts or something. It's crazy. It's fast, it's overclocked. I've got 7600 megahertz RAM Trident there running at 7600. Graphics card's overclocked. CPU is overclocked. That's a Bluetooth transmitter. I've got, this is all modded. Pimax 8KX with the Vive head thing. I have the sound output that usually goes from here through a cord to here, split two ways. So it goes to a monitor speaker so people in the room can hear what you hear in there. And it's split down into this haptic chair, which runs off audio right now because DCS doesn't support the, or isn't in their software library or whatever. And then the other sounds, it's all split, or synced, I should say, with a couple of butt kickers. I got one on the chair and one on the feet, and it's all synced with that, and all the sound. So everything feels the same. So I'm trying to replicate that on this. So the next step is to get the butt kicker off the bottom down here and off the pedals, get all that figured out on here, how I want to do all that. Get the joystick and throttle mounted and seat, and that'll be about it. And then get all this out of here and set this in the middle of the room. It'll be perfect. I got just the right amount of space back here. Perfect little room. Even put LED, color changing LEDs in here to, which you can sync with the games. So like whatever color games on the screen, you can have the lights doing the same thing. Just a bunch of fun posters. My son in a Lakota. There's an Apache behind the door. And yeah, just cool little room project. All right, keep you posted if anything comes up. But overall, way easier way to get a chair onto a YAW 2 than all this grinding and drilling and all this craziness. Remember, 5/16 inch bolts, 3.5 inches long, 2.5 inches long. Nylon locking nuts with all the washers. You know, 25 bucks worth of stuff. Buy extras, get a bunch of it. You'll figure it out. You just got to be a little creative with stuff and it'll work. So, and there you go. Good luck.